and that you're his ardent defender. Now, another point that I'd like to make is the stunning hypocrisy again and again when you stop and you consider that he's pressing Meghan and referring to this as an evil, the thing that I never said or did. But this is the same Ben Shapiro that roots the destruction of Gaza on. He supports and congratulated Randy Fine, who has literally tweeted laughing at photos of dead Palestinian babies. But I guess Tucker Carlson speaking to Nick Fuentes is just so much worse than celebrating, and not just celebrating, interviewing a man who is committing an actual genocide, okay? That's not up for debate. That's what they're trying him for. Bibi Netanyahu is committing a genocide, and Ben Shapiro sat down with him last month. And do you guys think he pressed Bibi Netanyahu on the point of a genocide? I don't understand how you could just go out there with your hair on your chest and your chest. You're just like, yeah, how dare you? How dare you not make a comment, Meghan, about Tucker Carlson? How dare you not make a comment? I care now about Charlie Kirk now that he's dead. I care about him and what's happening. Candace trying to find out who killed him. That's evil. You're lying. You lie when you have nothing.
So, you see, this is what it was all about. It's always the Jews, the Jews, the Jews. Now it's Bibi. We know the war has been going on since October 7. Now the war is over, right? So if Candace Owens believes that Bibi is committing genocide, how come she didn't press about Ben Shapiro long before Charlie Kirk died? To be like, okay, Ben Shapiro, because that's not the first time that Ben Shapiro interviewed, what's his name? The Prime Minister. That wasn't the first time, okay? So the fact still remains the same. So that's even making it worse. If you still believe, those guys are out there, it's the genocide, right? When the war started October 7, Candace Owens was still working for Daily Wire. How come she never quit? To be like, you know what, Ben, what's his name is committing genocide, whatever, I'm quitting. That's not what happened. She was fired. Okay? So this lady, she's just saying these things now because she's on the other side. When she was there, this is not what she was doing. So it just shows like, you know what? No. And also, this whole idea, she's on a quest to find out who killed Charlie Kirk. Okay? So what does Bibi committing so-called genocide got to do with who killed Charlie Kirk? You see what I'm saying? And this idea, this is what they say. She believes that they're committing genocide. No, by definition, it is not genocide. Okay? It is war. If you're going to call what's happening in Gaza genocide by the IDF, then it's the same thing should apply to America when they went to Iraq, when they went to Afghanistan. Okay? So, but she's not an honest broker to have this conversation. She's just saying this because she's able to jab at Ben Shapiro. So that's the problem with her. To me, I was just like, okay, you said all these things about Ben Shapiro, but you still work for her. You still went and worked for him, for Ben Shapiro. Sorry. What I say, we believe Candace has 100, and she has actually got cancer. I'm not big fan. I just don't see. Well, I'm also confused. The one thing that I truly believe is all the things that Candace Owens is saying, she actually believes it. That makes it very dangerous. There's people who say things because they want to get something. They're just lying. They're just pretending just to get whatever. You know what I mean? Like eventually they'll stop. But because Candace truly believes what she is saying, that makes her dangerous. There's one of the guy, he's a body language forensic expert. You know what I mean? Like he testifies in court, body language and everything. He analyze Candace Owens, and that's what he concluded. And he's a professional. And to me, I actually believe it. I'm like, yeah, this lady believes the things that she's saying. That's very dangerous. Okay. Phantom, good to see you. According to Candace, Charlie Kirk is naive. A grifter says, exactly. Clearly so, yeah. That's the only, yeah. Either Charlie Kirk was so naive, didn't know what was going on, two-faced, who is talking about his friends behind his back, and he's telling all these things to Candace Owens. And by the way, guys, that was before Charlie Kirk got married in 2018. Okay? Before Candace Owens also got married. So, instead of Candace Owens, so let's grant that's exactly what Charlie Kirk felt in 2018. Okay? Let's grant all that is true, Candace. But that was in 2018. So are you telling me between 2018 and 2025, Charlie Kirk's mind didn't change. Clearly, he did invite Ben Shapiro. Charlie Kirk had a big platform. He didn't need Ben Shapiro in any way, shape, or form. You see what I'm saying? So where are the text messages of Charlie Kirk in 2025 disparaging Ben Shapiro to Candace Owens? Does she have those text messages? I submit to you, no, she doesn't. Because if she did, she would have brought those. Okay? And that's why she's just clinging on to the text messages before Candace Owens was Mrs. Farmer and before Erica Kirk came in the picture as Mrs. Kirk. That's all she has. We want the things now. Trust and believe, Did I do some stupid things in 2018? Yes, a bit. You know what I mean? Do I want to be judged by what I did in 2018, in 2025? Sorry, guys, no. I don't want you guys to judge me by what I was doing in 2018. I can tell that for right now, okay? I want you guys to judge me about now, not the stuff I did in 2018, okay? So, but once again, it's Candace. She doesn't care about all that. But be that as it may, we do know, while she was saying all those things, she still went ahead and worked for Ben Shapiro up until what? I think in 2024, right? That's when she left. Because after, she was still there when October 7 happened. So this woman, I'm sorry, it's very difficult to trust her when she's up to all this. Okay, so this is this is what we get with Lady Candace. So now Candace has shifted gears. What's her name? Came back and called her out. So now she's clapping back at Allie Beth Stuckey. Because I think Allie Beth Stuckey was also trying, because she's friends with Candace Owens. After this, I don't think they're friends anymore, okay? She tried to just to talk about Candace Owens in the general terms, just to tell people to know conspiracy, what is truth whatsoever. But she realized, no, this train ain't stopping. So she came out and then she spoke. So now Candace is not having it, is responding back to Allie Beth Stuckey. So we are here for it all, guys. Okay? Once again, I'm glad that she has done that. But these are the things that I always say, okay? When you have your friends, not all your friends should be platformed. She has her own platform. She has her own platform. But hey, she was cool with Candace, and now here you are. Oh boy, we are in trouble. But anyway, let's take a listen. Okay, here we go, guys.
Then there were these compounding lies, okay? Obviously, last week, we watched Ben press Meghan on stage. Very strange to see him do something like that, to see him just lie and try to pressure her with the lie. And it was also on the day that it was announced that this podcast was #1 globally. I responded on my show with the truth, showed you screenshots of what Charlie had said, told you honestly that he had kind of prevented Charlie from coming up. And that was certainly how Charlie felt. And then some guy named Frank McCormick on X started circulating. And then, of course, I instantly made a trend that I forged the text messages, that I just made them up. And I was just going to be so risky and throw these text messages up and just lie as if I wasn't going to get debunked quickly. Anyways, this is what he wrote on there. Candace Owens recently posted what she claims are more text messages from Charlie Kirk. He asked ChatGPT to analyze. Look at this next one. If you want to skip over to the next, he analyzed the bubble design, the profile placement, the header layout, font, spacing, color, balance. And he discovered that these were digitally fabricated. Bro, you didn't have to do any of that. You could just ask me to show you the messages. I show messages on this show. Like, I'm happy to show you guys this live. So just to give you the receipts here. Wait, Skylar, can you tell me in my ear, what did the message even say? Because I can look it up. Just give me like a sentence. Okay, keep going. Okay, hold on.
So this is how
populating it. It's because the way that it's spaced. Can you give me the sentence after that? There we go. That will work. We just have to treat him like noise. Are there typos in that? Here we go. I found it. There we go. A little bit of typos. There we go. Okay, here we go, guys. Just to show you this, just looked up on my phone. These are not made up text messages. You probably want to see the date here and see the time sliding. Hold on. We did not make up these messages. Okay. Iron sharpens iron. It's not a dominance partnership. Each hand washes the other. It is what Christ talked about as true partnership, reliant yet separate. None other dominant. Of course, there is struggle, disagreement, but each side gets stronger and sharper because of the other. This is us describing our partnership. These are just real. Like, what an absolute nonsense to think that I would make up text messages. Like, it's just such a nonsense. I don't even know what would be the point of that. What would be the point of that? Okay. I was very clear at the beginning of this entire thing. No fakeness and no gayness. I ask that if you didn't get along with Charlie, you don't think that you could just drop $1 million and then rewrite history. Okay. You might have money. We have truth. That's what's on our side. Also, to build upon that, I saw a clip of Allie Stuckey, who I very much like. I've been clear with. I very much like Allie Stuckey. I'm very surprised she's working with Alyssa Cordova, but she's also in very rare form. I don't know what's driving that. And she kind of, I guess, I don't know when this live was taken, presumably over the last week. I just saw it circulating. Said to people that we shouldn't be asking these questions about the Charlie Kirk assassination. Anyways, I'm not going to put words in her mouth. Listen to Allie Stuckey.
I'm just really tired of some of y'all not thinking. I really am. You say that you're seeking truth and asking questions, but you're actually just outsourcing your critical thinking and your question asking to someone else, and you're never really asking questions. You're never saying, does that make sense? Or what could be the other side of that story? Or what is the alternative explanation for that? Or are these two things actually connected by evidence? Or does it just sound compelling? This is not a Netflix series. It's not an Agatha Christie novel. You're not watching a whodunit movie. These are people's real lives. And if you were implicating a real person in a murder plot, you better be 100% sure that it is true and backed by hard evidence. Think. Turn on your brain. The thoughts we think and the words we say not only affect real people's lives, but they carry weight in eternity. We are responsible for these things. I'm going to take that seriously, but you should too. Look, y'all, I don't even want... I've just been wrestling with this so much over the past few weeks. I don't want the drama. I don't have the time and energy that it takes to go through. To make all of these claims first is incredible, but then to go through and debunk all of these claims, I don't have that time. I don't have that energy. I don't have that capacity. I don't.
Look, Allie, I just think she should take a break. Like, I genuinely didn't even know she was going through it like this. Like, I don't think we asked her for any assistance at all, actually. I did all the work and people sent me stuff and then we put together a timeline. And here's what I want to say, because you're saying it's real life. It was Charlie's real life. Allie, that was Charlie's real life when you saw him sitting there and he got shot. That was his real life. So I feel like that's the part you're missing because you're so worried about the surrounding cast of characters who have been literally caught lying. They lied. That's why we're here. Okay. We didn't just randomly pluck people.
So, I mean, one thing you have to give to Candace Owens, she's very good at making herself be the truth bearer, so to speak. So you have to pay attention to the words that she's using and to the narrative that she's weaving. Most of her audience, they don't see it. Okay. She does this they call flood the zone. So she gives a whole bunch of information that makes you assume, you're going to assume, because she's giving you all this information, which means she's telling the truth, which means there's something there. But literally, it's just a nothing bag. Okay? So notice, instead of her critiquing what Allie Beth Stuckey is saying, she just play Allie Beth whatever clip and just be like, oh, you're going through it. You need to take a break. That's not the point, Candace. You know what I mean? And this happens to be your friend. She is saying, if you're going to accuse people like you have, you need to produce evidence. Candace Owens has not produced evidence, guys. She is saying that, for example, Mike McCoy lied. If you ask her, what is the lie that Mike McCoy lied? She's not going to show you because there's nothing. She cannot prove to you Mike McCoy lied. Mike McCoy said he was on the phone, called Erica Kirk. Candace does not believe that's what happened. Because in her mind, that's not how one behaves. Erica Kirk came and confirmed, yes, Mike McCoy called me. Instead of her leaving that, moving on, no, that's not what happened. So, because these people did not behave the way Candace Owens wants them to behave, which means they're lying. That's all. And then making matters worse, Mike McCoy, dad is Rob McCoy, who happens to be the spiritual pastor to Charlie Kirk. Forget about it. So what is Candace Owens doing? Candace Owens is jealous of Turning Point USA. Because the way she left Turning Point USA, it was just due to circumstances. It was just like, she has to go. In her mind, if she was still there right now, she would have been the CEO. So now that she's not there, the people who are going to benefit from Turning Point USA, according to Candace Owens, they were not there to build Turning Point USA. After all, it was Charlie and Candace Owens. So Turning Point belongs to Candace Owens. So if Candace Owens cannot have Turning Point USA, trust and believe nobody else will have it. So she's going to drag all these people without evidence and nothing else. It could have helped. And the problem is, right now, let's just grant. Let's say Candace Owens happens to find real evidence that implicates one of these people. Guess what? She's cried wolf way too many times. Nobody's going to take her serious. Nobody's going to pay her no mind. And this is what I say. Since you have all this information, right? You have this evidence that Mike McCoy, right? All these other people, right? Where is the police report? Has Candace Owens filed a police report reporting Mike McCoy, Rob McCoy, Andrew Covert, Alex Clark, Josh Hammer, Seth Dillon, the Egyptians, Kash Patel, Donald Trump, Ivanka and Jared Kushner. Who else do we have, guys? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Has she filed a police report of any of these people? Where is her police report? At the bare minimum, it'll be like, you know what, I filed a police report. The police are not investigating. The police are giving me a runaround. Maybe she'll have something. But as I'm speaking to you right now, Candace Owens has not filed any police report. So if this woman is serious about finding who killed Charlie Kirk, doing this investigation, where is the police report? Which person has been indicted of all these other people that I've mentioned to you guys? Because according to her, it's not Tyler Robinson. So we have these people waiting for Turning Point USA, and yet these people, they have blood on their hands. Shouldn't she raising the alarm to warn Erica Kirk, to warn everybody, or to warn any of us that we are talking, sitting next to people who deleted Charlie Kirk? You see where this is going? If she's serious about this issue. So it's just like, woman, oh my goodness, she needs to sit down. I know. As John MacArthur says, go home. Go home. Okay. She needs to go home. That's where she belongs right now. Okay, Silky Way. Candace knows how to twist things. Oh, yes. She is the master manipulator. That you got to give it to her. So right now, instead of her, and even Ali says, the things that you say, right? Because she claims to be a Catholic. You cannot just be accusing people. Even the Bible commands the same thing. You cannot bring an accusation. You're supposed to have 2 or 3 witnesses. Who are Candace Owens' witnesses to all these allegations, to all these charges that she's bringing forth? She has nothing. She has nada. So just because she says something that can appear to be true, that doesn't make it to be true. Remember, these things are still under investigation. They're going to go to court, and these people are going to be cross-examined. They're going to be on the witness stand. So it's not like they're just going to be boom, it's Tyler Robinson. No, they need to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. And remember, he's facing death penalty. So the decision has to be unanimous. The stuff that Candace Owens is doing, honestly speaking, to me, if I was a defense attorney of Tyler Robinson, I am bringing Candace Owens on the stand. Literally, I'm bringing her on the stand. Oh, Mrs. Farmer, you said you have this, you have that. Yeah, she'll make a very good witness to cross-examine. What evidence do you have that? The dreams? How can we verify the dreams? You see? So she appeals to that type of authority where nobody can investigate. So that's the danger that we have with this lady. Okay? So let's see how she talks about this Allie Beth Stuckey. Here we go, guys.
People up from obscurity. Okay, these are people who said he had blood on him. He's amazing. He was so amazing, but he walked away from Charlie as he was bleeding out. His real life. That was his real life. Okay? So that's what's on the line right here, is he's not here anymore. Maybe you're not worried about him, but I am. I'm actually worried, and I want to know what happened to Charlie Kirk, okay? And why I feel like you and so many Christian Zionists just kind of wanted to turn him into a ghost, like, you know, Charlie the friendly ghost, and are not interested at all. And if you're looking for real life Agatha Christie stuff, in real life, people's necks don't stop 30-06 bullets. In real life, that's all I'm saying. In real life, when you spend millions of dollars on security, on your security detail, they don't have you sitting like a sitting duck and forget to have an ambulance behind you. In real life, I worked for Turning Point USA, and I know what does not make sense in terms of the timeline of how this event came together. And in real life, If somebody suspects you in a murder for any reason whatsoever, and you can put something out publicly that will clarify a fact that isn't correct, if you say it's not correct, you would do that. You wouldn't hide. Enforce.
So if we suspect that Candace Owens had something to do with Charlie Kirk, given that she wasn't there, how come Candace wasn't there at UVU? Yeah? After all, she's just showing up now after Charlie Kirk is gone. Where was Candace Owens in 2019 to be making these videos? 2020 to 2023. Why now? So is she also a suspect? So is Candace Owens going to come out and clear her name that she had nothing to do with what happened to Charlie Kirk? So the same thing that she's saying can be played back to her. Can't it? So she claims she's the only one who's so concerned about Charlie Kirk. So Erica Kirk, who happens to be the wife of Charlie Kirk, is not concerned. So let's not forget, Candace Owens is married to George Farmer. Which married woman fights like this for someone else's husband? You tell me. If you have a husband and your husband is fighting like this for someone else's wife,
some of y'all better get y'all discernment together.
Exactly. Okay, so no. Oh, Charlie Milner, what are you saying? What investigation we still have not learned? What happened to Charlie Kirk? This is what we are hoping, that maybe today will be the day where she's going to drop it. But remember, she already told us that she has information, but she's hiding it. She doesn't want to bring it all out because it wouldn't be a smart thing for her to do. And yet Charlie Kirk was her best friend. Hey, guys, we are in trouble. Okay, let's watch some more.
Seconds, I would say. The reason why I was on the phone with so-and-so had nothing to do with anything. So people are following their instincts because they should, but I just want to remind you, because it bothers me, that was Charlie's real life. Okay? That was Charlie's real life, Allie. Right? Move on for that. See, you're stressed out. I'm stressed out too, to be honest with you. And we're not the only people that are stressed out, because apparently Grok is stressed out because it can't keep up with the lies that are being spread about me. So he had some sort of a software crash out. This was him being like, I'm tired, and sitting in his car. I'm just going to show you what Grok said at the top here. No, I want the Grok.
Oh, so that's stuff that was going on Twitter. Okay, that was a whole bunch of stuff that was going on Twitter. So right now, to be quite honest, because she's the #1 podcaster around the world, this validates Candace Owens, because she feels like, now I'm sitting on top of the world, so I'm actually doing the right thing. So she's not going to stop. She's not going to stop. Now, she has decided to defend Brett Cooper, okay? But I don't know why she felt the need to defend Brett Cooper, because the stuff that Brett Cooper was defending is just like the people you're defending, that's what they say for themselves. So let's take a look at this real quick, guys. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Welcome. All right, we continue on this rabbit hole, okay? All right, here we go.
Israel First is a cancer cell. It is a cancer cell, left or right, to everything and everyone that wants to play around with it. It is a radical psychosis that has manifested itself within both parties. And it is so radical that, in case you missed it, yesterday, they started attacking Brett Cooper. Brett Cooper, 23-year-old, bubbly Brett Cooper. She makes the majority of her videos dedicated to pop culture. Yes, she covers things that are, I would say, mainstream politics, nothing too daring, never speaks about Israel. And she did her part, by the way. Zionists wanted her to do her part and encouraged New Yorkers to get out and vote against Mamdani. But it's not enough, of course, because this is a radical ideology. You give them 100%. You even say one critique, and they don't want to break bread with you. They want to destroy you. And that's what they want to do to Brett Cooper.
So now, don't forget, this lady has been on this quest, right? Everything, it will be Zionist or Israel, because she does have hatred of Israel. She does have hatred of the Jewish people for no reason at all. So she's been coming hard at Zionists, so to speak, okay? So anything to her, it's the Jews, it's the Jews, it's the Jews. But she pretends like she's just asking questions. So to me, just like, I don't throw this term like this person is anti-Semite, but this lady has done everything to prove herself that she is one, okay? So let's see what she said about the Cooper girl.